So now I'll try and give you some tips about going for an interview. If you've been invited for an interview by the company, then there's a few things that you can do to prepare beforehand that will definitely help you on the day. One of the things you can do is make sure that you know as much as possible about the company and the job that you're applying for. So you may need to do a little bit of research. This could be on the internet, looking at what the company is involved in, so you know a little bit of the background. It could also be done by networking, talking to people actually before the interview, talking to staff members at the company to find out as much as possible about the role beforehand. This can also show your interest for the post. That means that once you get to the interview, you'll be able to ask relevant questions, and you should always, when you go to the interview, think of at least 2 or 3 questions that you want to ask the employer. This again shows that you're interested in the job. It also shows that you know about the job. Another thing that you need to look at is to have a look through again the job details that you've applied for. The reason the employer has invited you to the interview is because they think that you might be suitable for that post. So you need to look down and see what type of person they're recruiting for. If they're asking for somebody with strong IT skills, then they're very likely to ask you about what IT skills or what IT experience you have. So you can get an idea, although you won't be able to guess all of the questions, you can get a very good idea of the types of questions they might be asking you. One way of preparing for that is to think about examples that you've had from your past employment that you could use in the interview. So for example, again, if we're looking at IT skills, you might want to think about IT projects that you've worked on in the past, websites that you've set up, and practice actually out loud in front of a mirror describing those clear and concisely, so that when you're in an interview situation you have that example ready to talk about. Another thing that's important is obviously your body language when you go into an interview. You should always try and be as open as possible, obviously smiling, shake the person's hand when you enter the room, and sit up upright and appear alert.